What is up, you guys? In today's episode, I want to give you the financial freedom framework. I'm going to show you exactly how to turn your handmade or woodworking business into financial freedom in the next 5 to 10 years. You want to stick around for this entire video. I promise it's worth watching. Let's dive in. All right, well, welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to the show. And in today's video, in today's episode, I really want to dive into my master plan to achieving financial freedom. And I'm going to tell you all the ins and outs. I'm going to explain it in detail. It's going to be a little bit of a longer episode, but it's worth listening to. So I want to talk real quick about the ultimate vision, the ultimate goal of my life. When I say the ultimate vision, the ultimate vision is that I serve God, I love my family, I become the man that God has always called me to be. That's the ultimate vision. But there's a financial vision that I also have of really achieving financial freedom by the time I'm like 35 to 40 years old. Now I'm 31 right now, turning 32 next month. Pretty ambitious, right? But I'm going to show you exactly the framework for accomplishing this, okay? And I believe that I'm going to pull this off. I don't have this like, well, it would be nice. I have a full-blown commitment to it. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start by just explaining a few things. So in your life, there are assets and there are liabilities, financially speaking. There are things that you have that put money in your pocket, and there are things that you have that take money out of your pocket. A lot of people think that their own personal home is an asset. It's not. It costs you money every month. There are things in your life that produce money for you every single month, right? If you own a woodworking business that produces money for you every month, that's actually an asset. Real estate that produces money every month is an asset. Stocks that produce money every month is an asset. If you own a car and put it on Turo and you make money above and beyond your car payment every month, that's an asset. Things that put money in your pocket are assets. Now, you need to increase the number of assets that you have to the point that the amount of money that it puts in your pocket every month exceeds your living expenses. That is what we call financial freedom. So if you have assets that put money in your pocket every month that exceed your standard of living, that is financial freedom. Okay, now that could be $3,000 a month, that can be $10,000 a month, that could be $30,000 a month. It depends on how you want to live. But if you have liabilities and you have a plethora of liabilities that are taking money out of your pocket, those are in direct opposition of financial freedom. So I wanted to explain assets, I wanted to explain liabilities. Here's the master plan, and this is what every person needs to really focus on and develop. There needs to be excess above and beyond your living expenses in cash every month in your life. So what do I mean when I say this? You need to figure out a way to have a lot more money every month than you need to live on. Put in the most simple, basic terms. You can do this two ways. You can do this by increasing your income, or you can do this by decreasing your expenses. You need to do both of these. A lot of people, all they focus on, the only thing that they focus on is decreasing their expenses. How can I minimize my expenses as much as possible? How can I spend as little as possible? And listen, I'm all about it, but I also don't want to live like a monk my whole life. I want to actually enjoy nice things. I want to have a vehicle that's reliable. I want to live in a nice home. I want to be able to send my kids to college one day if they want to go to college. But again, it just depends on your standards. So to sum it all up, you need to create excess inside of your personal finances. You need to have more money every month than you need to live off of. Then you need to start plowing that excess into assets that are going to produce money for you long term. Real quick though, back to talking about this gap, the gap between what you need to live off of and the excess you need to create. You can focus on just minimizing your expenses, or you can focus on picking up a second job, or you can focus on increasing your skill set or learning something that's super valuable, or building a really big woodworking or handmade business. People are so freaked out when they start talking about you can make $10,000 a month or $20,000 a month or $50,000 a month or $100,000 a month. They think, how is that even possible? Well, all that it is creating something super valuable in the marketplace. If you have something that's super valuable, that's scalable, you can make $1,000 with it. Well, then you can make $10,000. Then you can make $30,000. Then you can make $100,000. It just comes down to creating something super valuable. So it's the same way with your furniture business, woodworking, your handmade business. If you have something great, you can scale it. You can make really good money. And then if you keep your living expenses low, you have this giant chunk of cash that you can plow into a new investment every single month. So here's my master plan. I believe wholeheartedly in real estate. I believe that real estate is the single greatest investment that you can put your money into. I'm going to tell you why. In my opinion, it's better than a stock or a mutual fund or something along those lines. Listen, if you invest in stocks, the absolute best return that you're going to get is around a 10 to 12% return on your investment every year. Now, this is not if you're trading every day or doing something like that, which is super risky, super volatile. And people make a lot of money doing it if you know what you're doing. This is just putting money into something and letting it sit. You're going to make, at the top of the market, you're going to make 10 to 12% every year, which is not a bad return. You put $100,000 into it, it's going to produce $10,000 to $12,000 every year, right? But if you take any of that money out, you're going to be taxed on it. And so I want to talk to you about real estate and why, in my opinion, it is the single greatest financial vehicle to blow up your life in a really positive way. So if you invest in stocks, you're going to get a return on whatever money you put in. That's the only return that you're going to see. I'm going to give you 4 ways that you're going to make money with real estate. Number 1 is you're going to make cash flow. If you buy a property right, you're going to have your expenses every month, and then you're going to have your income from that property every month. And if you do it right, you should have more income than your expenses. So let's say that you make $500 a month in cash flow. So let's say your expenses are $1,000. Let's say you make $1,500 in rent. You're making $500 a month off of that investment, right? That's the first one. This is the one that most people think about when they think about real estate investing. So that's cash flow. The second way that you can make money is through appreciation. So if you buy a property that is worth $500,000, if it appreciates 10% per year, next year it's going to be worth $550,000. You're going to make money just through it becoming worth more money over time. You don't do anything to the property, right? It's just worth more over time. The next way to make money is loan pay down. So if you own a piece of real estate, the amount of money that you owe on that piece of property is going to get paid down over time, and you're not the one paying it. Your renter is the one paying it. So you have appreciation, which is increasing the value of the property. You have loan pay down. So this spread is called equity, which means you're making all this money from just simply owning it and renting it out. And then the fourth way that you make money is through depreciation. And that is the government saying, listen, this property is going to wear out over time, so we're going to let you depreciate this property on your taxes over the next 27 and a half years. And as a result of that, let's say you have a $500,000 property, you depreciate that over the next 27 and a half years. Well, it's about $20,000 per year that you're going to be able to write off against any income that you have. So let's say you make $1,000 per month off this property. Well, you make $12,000 per year from having owned this property. This is in cash flow. But let's say it's a $500,000 property. Let's say that you can write off, let me just do the math. So it's 500,000 divided by 27 and a half, and you can write off $18,000 in depreciation every single year. Well, you're going to show a $6,000 loss on your taxes on that property, even though it's not really depreciating. This is a tax hack with real estate that you don't get anywhere else. So imagine if you saved all this money, you created this spread in your life, you bought a bunch of real estate, and then the income from that real estate exceeded your expenses, and then you're not taxed on any of that money. How incredible would that be? This is my ultimate game plan. This is how I plan to get wealthy long-term the rest of my life, is I am going to continue to crush it in business, and I'm going to take any excess dollar that I have and I'm going to plow it into real estate investments. I'm going to have tax advantages, then I'm going to have equity, this equity growth. I'm going to have cash flow every single month. And within the next 3 to 5 years, I anticipate I'll have enough of these that exceed our living expenses so that I don't have to work anymore inside of businesses if I don't want to. Now, I will because I love it. It's what I enjoy doing. But this is the plan to achieving financial freedom, in my personal opinion. So if you got any questions, any concerns, comments, let me know. I'm not afraid. Let me know in the comment section below. With that being said, guys, if you have not subscribed yet, make sure you do that. I'll see you guys in the next one.